What's going on, you guys? How's it going? And welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into another video. So the Vancouver Canucks made two trades last night at the time I'm recording this. Two very big trades, one of which we knew was kind of coming. And then they kind of did the good old Bo Horvat switcheroonie and got a defenseman for the other trade. We'll break down both of them and give you guys my opinion. If you guys do not know, I am a Canucks fan, so I'll kind of be giving you guys my opinion. I think I have a little bit of a different opinion than most Canucks fans. Most Canucks fans have been seeing these kind of trades go down and just absolutely I don't know, freaking out. It's mayhem right now. It always is. Canucks fans are the worst. But I kind of want to give you guys my thoughts. So before we get into it, as always, if you guys like more trade breakdown videos like this, make sure to subscribe. Like the video if you enjoyed. Let's get into it. So the very first trade happened yesterday night at the time I'm recording this. The Vancouver Canucks sent JT Miller, Eric Brandstrom, and Jackson Dorrington to the New York Rangers for Filip Chytil, Victor Mancini, and then a 2025 first that was protected. If it was top 13th, it went to 2026. Off the bat, Canucks fans were freaking out. They were saying this wasn't enough for Miller. Now, to be honest, I don't know what fans were expecting when we traded JT Miller. I just don't know what they expected the return was. I saw a lot of Canucks fans freaking out saying stuff like Lafreniere or Braden Schneider. And it's like, realistically, that was probably never going to happen. Obviously, I would love for that to happen too. But realistically, JT Miller's 31 years old. He's got an 8-year contract, so he's signed till he's, 37 at $8 million. Those kind of players can drop off at around 34, 35 years old. He's got a no trade clause, which means really he had to give us the go ahead to trade him. He could have said no and stayed in Vancouver. So obviously he was okay going to the Rangers, which means we probably really only had one team to trade him to. We had negative leverage. All teams in the NHL knew we had to get rid of him because of him in the PD situation. That was not going to end well. And no matter what, we were trading one of them. I personally think the JT Miller trade has less likely to come back and bite us in the butt than a Pettersson trade does. Now, I know there's a huge Team PD situation on the Canucks fan base, and I'm always going to be Team PD. I'm always going to be Team younger player with higher upside. Miller plays really good, and sure, he plays aggressive. He's good on the forecheck, but I mean, that guy's back check is non-existent. There's so many plays where he just quits on the play. PD, no matter what, even if he doesn't lay as big of a hit as Miller, he's out there trying. Watch him skate. He's giving her on the back check. He's maybe not producing like he should be, but his two-way game is still one of the best in the league. Even though PD's not playing the best, I still would throw all my chips on PD's side and just expect him to come back more so than I would Miller. So the return may not be anything fantastic. It's not too bad. Chytil probably is a low-end second liner, potential third liner on a good team. So I'm okay with that as long as he can stay healthy. Mancini actually looks like a pretty decent right shot D. He's big. He can skate. Apparently he's pretty good. His passing's pretty good. So I mean, I'm excited to see where that comes from and see how that develops. And then that first round pick didn't last very long. I was kind of excited about it. It's been a while since the Canucks had 2 first round picks. So I was a little excited, but I knew they were going to do this. So all in all, people freaked out about this JT Miller trade. I don't think it was that bad. Was it great? Absolutely not. But expectations had to be low. So then the Vancouver Canucks flipped that first round pick. They do what they did with Bo Horvat, where they got the first from the Islanders and they flipped it for Hronek, and they did that and they got Marcus Pettersson, which I'm going to be honest, I like the trade. I know a lot of people didn't, but I like it. We traded Danton Heinen, Vince Desharnais, Melvin Fernstrom, and that first round pick from the Rangers for Marcus Pettersson and Drew O'Connor. I essentially see Drew O'Connor and Heinen kind of canceling out there because, I mean, that's a cap dump for the Canucks. We got 2 cap dumps in here. Desharnais is a cap dump. He was horrendous with Vancouver, making $2 million next year. Heinen's making $2 million next year as well. He hasn't been good. Drew O'Connor can easily replace him. And then we get a big upgrade on defense with Marcus Pettersson. I really like the addition. Carson Soucy hasn't been as good as that number 2 shutdown guy. So I think Marcus Pettersson will play really well there with Tyler Myers, or you even put Tyler Myers up with Hughes, and then you put Hronek with Marcus Pettersson on their second pair. I think it just creates a ton more depth on our D-core. So I'm okay with that trade as well. If you look at the 2 trades in all, we essentially shipped out JT Miller, Heinen, Fernstrom, Desharnais. I wouldn't count the first because that came from JT Miller for Filip Chytil, O'Connor, Marcus Pettersson, and Mancini. And I'm going to be honest, I'm okay with this. We traded Miller, who was not gelling with the team, was probably not going to stay with the whole Elias Pettersson situation, and we traded him for Marcus Pettersson essentially. And I mean, I guess you could say Filip Chytil if you want. And then we used Fernstrom as a sweetener with the Heinen and Desharnais trade to get Drew O'Connor and Mancini, which that in itself is kind of a win too. So although we didn't get as much as we would like in the JT Miller trade, we filled a huge hole on our back end on defense. And I think our depth looks way better, especially if we can re-sign him. And I think we will. Philip Hedl could be a good third liner, and we actually have some cap space too. That's one thing to mention, is we have some cap space to go and maybe fill that second line center spot in the offseason, or heck, maybe they even do another crazy trade because we still got some guys that can go. But all in all, I want Canucks fans to relax a little bit. I don't think it's as bad as we think. If you can sign Pettersson for around $5 million, then I think that's a W, because you essentially saved $3 million that you did trading JT Miller. And then plus the other two, Heinen and Desharnais, kind of cancels out Hedl's $4 million. So essentially you save $3 million going into next season. I mean, there's still lots of moves to be made. Is Besser going to stay? Is he not? I'm still not convinced Petey's not going to go. I would love for him not to, but I still think there's people that can go. I mean, P.S. Suter, he's on expiring contract. Who knows what happens there? But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, comment down below your guys' thoughts. I'd love to hear it, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.